Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of OOP Talks. And on this episode, we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic. And the topic is: will Liverpool high form continue in the second half of the 2024-2025 season? As you and I already know, Liverpool have been on an excellent run of form. I mean, in the first half, they had only one loss. They lost to Nottingham Forest. And other than that, they have been on an impressive run of form. On this episode, I have four wonderful speakers. We have Erons, we have Obazee, we have Clinton, and they are going to be joining me to talk about Liverpool. Now, the first thing we're going to be talking about is Liverpool's current run of form, the way they've been running from the beginning of this season up to the half of the season, up to December, and the star players and their roles in the making sure that Liverpool run or Liverpool win games. And the person that we're going to be turning to right now is Obazee. So Obazee, tell me, talk to us. What do you think about Liverpool so far?
Yeah, hello everyone. First of all, I would say they've had like a very impressive run of form, and they've been a very impressive team. And I would like to break that into two parts. In the sense that one part I would like to talk about the players, and the other part I would like to talk about the coach. First of all, I think the coach has been very good in how he has managed the team and how well he's been able to manage games and sort of like be able to tweak his players' position and how they play in certain games. I mean, even Robertson came out and said that they don't play the same way in any two games, that the coach sort of like gives them different tactical instructions depending on the game that they're playing, and that's like been a huge part of their success. Now I'm going to talk about several key players that I've found interesting in this season. Well, I'll start with Van Dijk because he's been very immense. I mean, like from last season, I think he won about 74% of the duels that he contested in, which is a very high number. And that Liverpool defense has sort of like had different chop and changes throughout the season so far, but he has remained constant in the team, and that has really been a huge part of their success defensively. Now, moving further up the pitch, I would say the most interesting thing that I've found in their midfield is Gravenberch, because coming into the season, I mean, myself and maybe everyone else sort of like thought that the main person who would play that sixth role would be Endo, but Gravenberch stepping up and taking mantle in that midfield and sort of playing the way he has so far has been great. And I found it really interesting because sometimes he wins the ball, he wins fouls, and is able to make runs that are very vital for the team. And now let's talk about Musala. That's the name on everyone's lips. I mean, I mean, he has like 30 goals contribution, and the whole Liverpool team has scored 45. I mean, if my math is correct, that's like 75% of the output that the team has, and he's been fantastic. He's been great so far this season. So I think that all these things just sort of like conflicted and came together at the point where like the whole team is doing well. I hope Liverpool are able to sort out their contract issues, because if they lose Van Dijk and Salah in the same window, I mean, it will be catastrophic for the team. But so far, so good. I would say like they've been really good, and I think a huge part of the success has been like the players that I've mentioned and the coach being able to sort of like tweak the players and their roles so far.
Yeah. Thank you. You see, you made a very wonderful point with what's it called, with the names you mentioned, and for me, one name that stood out to me is Gravenberg, because that guy really it took me by surprise. It took me by surprise because come on, I under Jurgen Klopp, I did not see that guy playing the number six role. But somehow Arne Slot came on and he has restructured that guy into one of like the best number six in the Premier League this season. It's there. When we're looking at top three number six so far this season, Gravenberg is there. I'm not going to talk about much about Salah or Virgil van Dijk, because before this season, we all knew Mo Salah, we all knew Virgil van Dijk. We knew that these guys, they are world class players. Of course, Salah's output has been crazy this season so far, but yeah, we can say we are surprised. But come on, at the back of our minds, we all know that Salah is a world class player. Now, the next thing that we want to talk about is squad depth and injuries, because one thing that we have to actually say the truth about is that Liverpool and Arne Slot, they've actually had it easy when it comes to injuries. But I would allow Erons to talk more on that, to shed more on that, to shed more light on that. So Erons, talk to us about that.
Yeah, thanks, OP. Just like you mentioned, I think over the past two seasons, when you look at the big six, right, Liverpool has been the luckiest among all of them in terms of injuries. Arsenal were once considered as the luckiest, but then this season we saw how the injury of Odegaard, for example, affected Arsenal a lot. So Liverpool among the big six have been really, really lucky. I think when we look at it from like looking at it from the attack, the midfield, and the defense, considering the attack, the star man Salah, we know how formidable Salah is when it comes to giving you 30 plus games. He has done this, giving 30 plus games since he joined Liverpool in the Premier League. He has been consistently available for them. And when your star player, your target man is available, you know that you are bound to always bang in goals and deliver game after game, and which is what we've been seeing from them in the first half of the season. So I think, considering injuries in the attack, the only player that has been very inconsistent, as we know from time, is Diogo Jota. He's very, very good for them when he's available, but we always know he always has this muscle or knee injury that comes up time after time. But there's this squad depth. You have the likes of Nunes still being able to fill in that slot in the center forward position. Cody Gakpo can play on the wing. He also plays as a center forward for them. So there's depth, enough depth, I would say, in the attacking in the center forward and attacking positions. Also looking at the number of games which they have coming up. Then looking at the midfield, I love the way Slot makes his team very unpredictable because it's difficult for you to say this is what is going to happen or these are the players we're going to play. It's difficult for you to say if he's going to play McAllister or if he's going to play Szoboszlai always. So it's very dynamic the way he rotates the team. So I think they have also a lot of players. We have not seen too much of Endo yet, but I think Endo is also still even available in case Gravenberch is not available for certain reasons. But the area which I fear most for Liverpool and where I feel they might suffer a bit is in defense. Currently, they have the likes of Ibrahim Konate, who is out from injury, although it was announced that he's joined them back in training. We also have Conor Bradley out. We also have Joe Gomez, who is also injured right now. And with that, you see, there's a risk currently of the centre forward position because the last person which they have for that position is Konsa. And we know Konsa is not yet too formidable. He has cost them some games, like where they had the 2-2 draw with Manchester United in during the season. So I think any slip up in the defense, any injury scenarios in the defense, if an injury happens to someone like Virgil van Dijk, for example, I think Liverpool is literally going to crumble. It's going to be so eminent. And then we have some backups currently, like Simicast, who's backing up for Anders Robertson, and we can consider that as kind of a good position, a good backup. But looking at a position like Trent's position, if for some reason Trent goes on injury right now, it's going to also be very difficult for them. So I think the defensive part, in summary, is just the part where it looks very shaky for Liverpool. But for attack and midfield, they look super good.
Yeah, yeah, I actually agree with that because when we look at attack, there are lots of players that can fill in. Of course, they would not want to lose Mohamed Salah, but I don't necessarily think Mohamed Salah is going to actually get lost because that guy over the past seasons, if we want to look at the trend, Mohamed Salah is someone that he gives you game. He doesn't go on injury. He hardly goes on injury. Then when we go to the only person that, like you mentioned, that is maybe injury prone in the Liverpool's forward line is probably Diogo Jota, and somehow they've been surviving with that team. I mean, they can play Gakpo, they can play Diaz, and they can play Salah. They are good. Then they can switch it up and add Nunes. Maybe remove Diaz or remove Gakpo and slot in Nunes there. They are good. So before they will actually feel the absence of Diogo Jota, it's going to be tough. Then you made mention of the midfield. Midfield, I agree with that wholeheartedly because come on, they have this guy Curtis Jones. They have this other guy Bradley. They have what's his name? McAllister. McAllister can play as a CMF. He can also play as the attacking midfielder. They have Sobuzla. Sobuzla, another player that or another midfielder that has caught my attention so far this season. But then when we go to defense, of course, yeah, the defense is a bit shaky, like you mentioned, and I agree with that because anything that happens to Virgil van Dijk and that defense is open, it's opened and there is that. And the next thing I want to talk about is fixture what is it called? The fixture challenges and the what is it called, the conjection. Now, upcoming fixtures, because right now, as it seems, we have gotten to like you can say we have gotten to the half of the season. And right now, I think Liverpool have a game in hand. They won against Everton, and I think by my calculation, they have 10 home games and 10 away games. So we're going to be hearing from Clayton, and he's going to tell us about the fixtures, how he feels about the upcoming fixtures, and if he sees Liverpool maintaining their run of form again in this upcoming fixture. So Clinton, let's hear from you.
OP. Yeah, it'll be really nice to see how Liverpool maintain their run of form, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see because now they have 10 home games and 10 away games, and when you look at these matches, you see that 10 of the away games, they have the top 10 oppositions to play 5 times, and those are teams like Brighton, Chelsea. Talk about teams like Everton. Everton is not top 10, but we all know that that's a very, very tough fixture. Merseyside derby. And if I'm correct, I think that should be the final match at their stadium, and that is an iconic one. It's a serious battle because currently their win ratio is tight, and I know the Merseyside derby, it's going to leave a serious mark. And yes, concerning the home and away, I think looking at the fixtures in April, I think that is where it's going to get very, very interesting. Arsenal are going to have their own run. Who is their opponent? Would have their own run shortly. But focusing on Liverpool, I think the run in April is going to be very deciding. And they play Arsenal the third match to the end of the season. And I think if Arsenal is able to keep in touch, it's going to be a real title deciding match. Then talking about their European fixtures, currently Liverpool is still competing in all fronts. That's the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. It's good for them that they've qualified. I think, yeah, they should have qualified, yeah, for the round of 16. Okay, they'll skip to the next phase, which makes it easier for them. So at least they get to rest. But if they keep up on all front, considering their squad depth and as well, I think they might be able to manage. But like I mentioned earlier, it's going to be interesting to see that is if they don't get affected by any other stuff like injuries and all. But I'll wait to see how they manage. But I think they might scale through. I just feel they will scale through.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I feel like Everton is very Everton. The game against Everton is going to be so a game, a mind blowing game because come on, we all know Sean Dyche and we saw what he did to Manchester City, Chelsea, and Arsenal back to back, back to back. So he really like he got something from them, got something from all of them. Because come on, it was going to be tough for them to actually for Everton to win any of those matches. But I mean, if they lost those matches, we would have not batted an eyes. We would have just like yeah, yeah, yeah. But somehow they came out with a point in those games. So the Everton game is going to be a one that is key. And of course there are other games there, especially the ones that they have away. Because whether I would like it or not, Liverpool Anfield is a fortress. So in out of the 10 home games, I would not be surprised if Liverpool do not lose any of those games. I would actually not be surprised there. Maybe they might lose one, or maybe draw one or two there. I would not be surprised if they don't lose any game. But the away fixtures is where I feel like they could slip up. But again, time will tell for that. Now we are going to go on to the competitor stretch, and the competitor right now that we have right now is Arsenal because Manchester City are somehow far behind because of the way everything is for them and all. But Arsenal look like they could actually be a threat to Liverpool. They look like they could actually be a threat. Chelsea is a team that could actually be a threat, but well, whether I would like it or not, it's not looking like that at this point in time. Then the next thing that I will talk about is Arne Slot. Now, Arne Slot is a guy that he was the coach of Feyenoord, and before then, I don't think anyone could have said that he was going to come in and fill the shoes of Jurgen Klopp so easily. Because whether I would like it or not, Jurgen Klopp did something massively at Liverpool, and the shoes he left, the way like the gap, the void he left at Liverpool, it was definitely going to be difficult to fill. But somehow, and a slot has come and he has filled in that position. Where I think there's I saw a statistic that said that and the slot only lost one game in the whole of 2024, which is massive, very very massive when you think about it. And when you think about that right now, because we are used to the fact that Manchester City dominates, Pep Guardiola dominates in the EPL, and somehow Pep Guardiola and Manchester City they've slipped up. So this is a perfect opportunity for Arne Slot to win, because if Arne Slot misses out on this EPL this season, we all know that it might be difficult for him to ever be in this position again because Pep Guardiola is definitely coming back with so much anger and so much energy next season. So I feel like there is enough motivation for Arne Slot, and he has shown that he's the guy. He has shown that he's the guy to fill in Jurgen Klopp's shoes. He has shown it that I am that guy. Of course, there will be a little blip around on the journey of the road, but so far so good. He has shown that he is that guy, and for me, I believe that and his slot has a lot to do with everything good going at Liverpool right now. The way he's getting the best out of Mohamed Salah. Look at the way Liverpool are playing. Liverpool are always playing to the strength of Mohamed Salah. That is not just happening coincidentally. That is happening from instructions from the manager. Look at them. Every time they are playing the ball to that right flank, they just play it into that right space there, because why? They know that Salah is going to get there. They don't even need to raise their head. Just play the pass there. Salah will get there. Then Salah is getting isolated with his man, and he's getting past his man. He's dribbling his man. Then Salah is taking crosses. Anytime Salah is on the ball, notice anytime Salah is on the ball, there is always an overload on the back post. Because why? Everybody, they are anticipating the cross from Salah. They're like, yes, they know that Salah is going to put it at that back post. So, and the slot is really doing well and everything. Anyways, but I would like to get the thoughts of my four speakers. Do you think Liverpool would end up winning the game? Of course, it's a game of football. Anything can happen anytime. But I just want you to answer the question right now, from where you sit, from what you see. Do you see Liverpool winning the EPL, or do you think the what is it called? Their competitors like Arsenal, Chelsea, or even maybe Manchester City can somehow sneak in, or even Manchester United? So let's get that. That will be all your closing remarks. So let's get your thoughts. Obazee, let's start with you. What do you think? Do you think the competitors can come?
Yeah, personally, I don't see it because for Chelsea, I think that the coach made a mistake when he said that they're not fighting for the title. I think that was a huge mistake on his part. I may be wrong, but that's not the thing that you want to tell your team. Then Arsenal, with the fact that they are missing Bukayo Saka, which is a huge thing. The team is good, but like without Saka, I don't know how they are going to fare. So yeah, and like Clinton said, Liverpool are in the pole position. Like it's in their hands now. They practically have their destiny in their hands, and I don't see them losing a lot of games or slipping up, because they've been here before a lot of times with playing against Man City, which are a more fierce competition, and they've known how it is to handle the pressure at this stage. And I'm sure that Van Dijk, Arnold, and Salah will be telling like the other crop of players that okay, this is we're here now, we can do this. Sort of like letting them know that they've been in this position before. So I do think that they will skate through. I do see them winning the league.
All right, thank you, Obazee. So Obazee says he sees Liverpool winning the league. That no competitor, no other team can get it out of Liverpool. Let's hear from you, Erons. What do you think?
Thanks once again. From my side, well, it's hard to say I don't see them. I hope they don't win the league. That's the honest truth from my side. I hope Liverpool do not win the league. I hope Arsenal is able to um, have some good mentality, fight on to the end, even despite the fact that Bukayo Saka is out. I mean, it's not every season you're going to have something, have like a special or a perfect scenario where everything just works out for your good and in your favor. And that's what I also hope for Liverpool, that this same injury crisis everyone has experienced, Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, I want Liverpool to have their own fair share of it, right? So it's like balanced, and then we see if they have the mentality. Because everyone always talks about, the fact that, Liverpool have a good mentality, Man City have a good mentality, and all of that. So let's see if Liverpool really has that mentality. Let them have their own fair share of the injury. But honestly, from my side, I do not see them winning the league. I feel like at some point, Liverpool is going to slip up. There's going to be like a streak of matches which they're going to lose, right? Or drop points, just like similarly how other clubs have done over time. So hopefully they don't win it, and another team like Arsenal or Chelsea, no, Arsenal is going to win it. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, from the way he spoke, I'm sure you guys can know that he's an Arsenal fan. So he's hoping that Arsenal kind of sleeping. But anyway, let's hear from you, Clinton. What do you think?
All right. Um, after the match between Brentford and Arsenal, Thomas Frank said something. He said, Arsenal have been having a rough patch. That's not the exact way he puts it, but he said something about Arsenal having a rough patch and still nicking out points, still grinding results. And Liverpool has been having it all free flowing, you know. So I just feel there'll still be a point in the season where uh, certain teams who they are going to play against will be in very good form, and it will be very difficult matches. And I made mention of the away matches, especially, playing against Nottingham Forest, playing against Chelsea. I'm sure Chelsea want to grind out a point at least. You know, playing against Man City. Man City are injured already. Going to Etihad, that's going to be a really tough one. So and also the number of matches they play. So I'm really interested in seeing how they are going to handle all of it. But I feel there's going to be a slip up, and also that is also dependent on what Arsenal does this transfer period. Because I feel if Arsenal doesn't reinforce, then I don't think they will be able to fill in the void of Saka, because the front line currently is not as effective as when Saka is available. Let's be honest with ourselves. Yes, they've still produced goals and all, but the effectiveness, it's not there. So, but if Arsenal should do something serious and they keep on being consistent, then I think they will be there to pounce on Liverpool once they slip off. So I think it's Liverpool's title to lose, but I feel they are going to slip off. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. So right now we are 2-1. We have two speakers saying that then Liverpool they hope Liverpool slip up so that Arsenal can get the title. So hopefully, obviously we know the clubs they are supporting. Then we have one that says Liverpool are going to get it. Of course, my position on the matter, I really don't care. Anyone that wins it at the end of the day, I really don't care. But I would love to hear the thoughts of our audiences. What do you think? What do you feel? Do you feel Liverpool would slip up and maybe someone like Chelsea or Manchester United? Mathematically, can Manchester United come? But let's just put them there. Come on, let's respect the Manchester United, Alex Ferguson and all. But anyways, do you think Liverpool would slip up, or do you think it is Liverpool's EPL title to lose? Let us know in the comment section. And once again, thank you for getting us to this point. Thank you for watching up to this point. And of course, we are going to come with more episodes. And like I said initially, the social media links of this podcast would be in the description of this video. So in case you want to give them a follow, you want to shoot them a DM, or you want to argue with them, correct their whatever it is that they said, feel free. I'm sure they will be interested in knowing your thoughts. Thank you for coming to this episode, and see you on the next one.